Good day, good day. Welcome, welcome. Thank you so much for tuning in. My name is Jay, and this is Homeschool Yo Kids Podcast. Today we have with us Andy. Introduce yourself.
Hey, my name is Andy Fling, and I'm the owner of MakingMusicFun.net, which is a resource site for teachers, parents, and music enthusiasts, mostly geared around elementary students.
Okay, awesome. How long have you all been servicing the community?
How long is that? What?
I said, how long have you all been servicing the community? How long have you been in
Um,
business?
I've been Making Music Fun has been around since 2007, so about 15,
Nice.
going up in 16 years now, just about.
Okay, awesome. What all do you offer?
Um, on the site, there's lots of things, just about anything an elementary school student would need or a teacher. Um, a lot of it is sheet music because that's what you need for every single lesson, focusing mostly on piano. And a couple years ago, about 3 or 4 now, I started a piano lesson academy that, depending on how much kids practice and how adept they are at it, should take them through the first 3 years of lessons. And then there's lots of worksheets and just everything. You can even download full books, so you don't even need to head off to the store for piano books.
Okay, awesome. Is it one-on-one sessions or how does this run?
Oh, so if you're interested in the piano lessons, it's it can be for one kid. It's just a teacher sitting there. Some of the programs just do. It's like an app, and there's nobody there. But we're just applying. Me and some other teachers are just applying good, hearty lessons that kids need. It's set up for teacher to one student, um, and you download the book, download the worksheets that you need, go through the lesson every single day. That's the advantage of online lessons. Is that the teacher is there with you every single day, and then you go through the course on. It's really about, to make this successful, the parent has to be involved too, but it's a one-on-one experience. Go as far as you can, and then after that, I recommend going to a regular teacher because there's things like dynamics that have to be addressed, and phrasing, musicality that it has to happen. Teacher, really an in-person teacher, but the first 3 years can certainly be taken care of um, one-on-one, just like it's set up, and you learn about rhythms and note names and all that kind of stuff.
Okay, nice, nice. So, do you offer group sessions, or is it
You
just
you could certainly go that way too. I think there is a school in Dubai that purchased. Well, I think they were purchasing the other program. Um, yeah, you can certainly set a TV in front of a classroom of kids, especially if you're a teacher that doesn't really know how to play the piano, but you want to offer this to your homeschool group. They can all get together. You could be in a situation of a Christian school, and you want to get kids an after school program um, set up for something like that, and just go to town. It's a great opportunity, and incredibly affordable. Um, I set it up for $18 a month, and that's not for one kid. That's for everybody in your family. The adults can learn along too. $18 a
oh,
month. It gets even cheaper
nice?
if you go
Okay.
for the annual rate. Most of the programs out there I see are $18 per student.
Okay, okay. That's pretty awesome. All right. What else did you have going on besides the piano?
There's piano sheet music. There's over 500 pieces of piano sheet music on the site. Um, you can, it's all the way from the beginner, just barely getting started. If you want the routine of a book and negotiated progress, like very, very beginning and gradually adding elements, you can start with our piano primer, or you can just find songs that you like. But it's right from the beginning through 5 or 6 years. I think there's probably even high school students coming on the site and finding things they enjoy, but it's geared for the very beginner. and most elementary students probably end with level 3. The ones that really go to town practicing could probably handle the level 5. Yeah, and lots of worksheets. That's one of our more popular things where kids are learning about note names, and everything's geared for making it fun. Note names, intervals, rhythms, and tempo terms, all kinds of terminology is gained through that. There are, and then there's lots of stuff about composers, even lessons that I've written, personally written for homeschoolers to just find the lesson, and you really don't have to know anything at all. It's all mapped out. It's asking you questions. You answer the questions. Some of the questions are like, how do you how does that piece make you feel? What do you think about? And answer them. It's just, and it's a way to cause your child to listen and respond in some way, so they're a more engaged listener, knowing they have to say something. So
Okay.
yeah,
Nice. So it's like across the board, like it's universal music lessons, basically.
there's everything that you would need to engage in the world of music. There's the interactive stuff, um, piano lessons, and there's stuff for the music classroom at the public school or the Christian school. But there's lots of things you can do, get your kids involved in at home. It could even be buying a recorder at the store or ordering one on Amazon. And there's some videos on YouTube that are like 12 years old now, of me teaching back when I had brown hair, black, and and they've got like 400,000 views, a couple of them, and you
Oh,
can grab the
nice.
sheet music off of Making Music Fun. Those Many of those things are free. Tons of things that are free, but the recorder sheet music, like Hot Cross Buns, you need to know 3 notes, find the video, and it's so it's just so easy because there's so much repetition. I teach you 2 notes, I teach you 3 notes, I teach you how to combine those 3 notes, and before you know it, 9 or 10 minutes later, you can play a tune for your neighbor or
Oh, that's pretty
call
cool.
grandma on the phone.
Yes, I still remember my recorder from probably either fourth or fifth grade, and we
Yep,
learned Mary Had a Little Lamb, and I
yep,
I still believe that I can play that now really well. I
yep.
do. So it's like, some things just stick with you, like it doesn't go anywhere.
No,
So
yeah, fourth grade is a great time to do that. Their fingers are getting agile and can manage covering the holes. So if you have a homeschooler or a grade schooler at that age and they don't have that experience, log on to YouTube and find the lesson and download the sheet music for free. All
yeah,
free.
I right. And YouTube is wonderful provider of like everything, anything you could think of.
Yep,
Like
just about.
anything you could think of, it is there for you to learn. That's the joy and beauty of that. How important is music in education? That's an art. Like, we need that.
Yeah,
My opinion, I feel.
I do too. And back when, gosh, there was a movie with Richard Dreyfuss in it and Mr. Holland's Opus, and he came out. There was a little tag at the end after the movie was over, and Mr. Holland, Richard Dreyfuss, came out and talked on the screen. And when it went into production or into play throughout the movie theaters, it was taken off. But he
Mm,
was coming out and saying, unless we really start to value music education, things are not going to be as good for your kids. And it's sort of tragic that music is only valued because it makes math scores and spelling scores and all that stuff go up. It should be appreciated for that, but it should also be appreciated just for the arts experience. It's like we're not really a complete human unless we just find our way into every experience that's worth having anyway. Um, yeah,
yeah, we should be limited And it's sad that a lot of schools, that's the first thing that they do let go
Yeah.
is,
And
you
we keep
know,
football.
of
So
course, that's what brings
it,
the money.
it is a money generator.
Yeah. So
But it's an experience that I wouldn't ever want to pull no matter what you do. And it's not really an expense for the school aside for from the teacher.
yeah, I was gonna say the
And
teacher.
there's a couple instruments that the school typically provides, but kids that want to play, their parents will find a way, even for the tubas and the string basses. Otherwise, you head to the music store and for I don't know what it's cost to rent a trumpet or a clarinet, but it's not all that much every month. Or
Mhm.
go to a garage sale and find one for
Mhm.
$100, and you're in business and find a book.
Indeed, indeed. I know we pick up a lot of different instruments. I feel like the girls have had a harmonica, they've had a keyboard, they've had a couple keyboards, they've had a recorder, two recorders, things of that nature, guitar. Um, so we love music around these parts. I couldn't imagine a world without it.
Yeah. Have they had a chance to even do piano or electronic keyboard or any way?
They haven't done lessons, but they've had them.
They
Like
messed
they've
around.
yeah, they've played with them.
Yeah. So some parents say, "Well, do I? We have a keyboard, but we don't have a real piano. Is that okay?" And I'm like, "Yes, it's there's drawbacks, but not in the beginning. If you just have not one of those little teeny things that are like toys where the keys are just a sliver, um, you need a full size key. But we went out a couple years ago and found on Craigslist, we found a keyboard and a stand for $50. And then you're
Nice.
into the piano experience. Um, but the thing about, so this is what you want to look for. If you're going to start with a keyboard, which is a great opportunity for, as long as they're not using the pedal on the piano, then it's all good to go. You just need to be full size keys, and then look in the back and see if it will. There's a 1/4 inch jack that says pedal, and that will take your keyboard even further. Um,
Mm,
and and is and the keys are light, and so it doesn't feel the same as a real piano, but it will get you there. They all they need to do as the beginning is press the right key down, um, and and they need to use the right finger. And then they're learning about rhythms and they're learning about melody. They're learning about hand position on the piano. Those are all the kind of things you cover in the first couple years. When they're more confident and when the weight of the key matters, I just can't move quickly and accurately on a keyboard, not the way I can on a real piano with weighted keys. But it's a really great way to start for probably about $200 for the ones that you might head out to Best Buy for, or down to Costco or something, um, and pick up try our piano primer. If you decide on piano lessons through the academy, that's free. If you just buy it off the site, I think it's like $5.99 or something. Um, yeah, and just plug away.
when you learn the notes for music, does that kind of like set you up to be able to play all the instruments across the board?
Yeah, yeah. I was asking one of my students the other day. He's been playing piano for a while, and he's about a year and a half into trumpet lessons. And so I asked him, so how has piano helped you on trumpet, or is trumpet lessons helping you on piano? And he didn't know quite how to answer that, but it's helping you with rhythms. Rhythms are the same. The notes on the page are the same, but when I play a trumpet sound and I play a piano sound, if I play on a C on a trumpet and play a C on the piano, it's not the same note because the length of the trumpet is too long. So I
Mm,
just had to play a higher note. That's transposition. Um, it's a thing you learn on the way. But a C on the staff is a C for everybody. And
okay.
so the rhythms, the note names, all the theory that you learn. Like I was just watching a sight reading video this morning, and one of the things that that I look for when I'm sight reading is like, am I playing a chord when I go something like this? When I
Oh,
see something
nice.
like that in music, then I know, um, oh, that's a chord. I've played a chord before. Go for it. Um, yeah, I forget the question, but I think we went down. Oh, is everything the same for all
As
instruments?
far as notes, like once you learn the
Yes,
notes, are you able to
everything.
play?
Yeah, the trumpet is just you have to know how to hold your lips and use air. The violin, it's a nightmare forever trying to play in tune, but the rest of the stuff is just is easy.
I know I tried
Eh,
to do violin in elementary too, but my mom wasn't having it.
Yeah, no chicken scratches for her.
Yeah, she wasn't with it. I just wanted to do it because a friend of mine was doing it. So, but she was really good too. And
Yeah.
then we were young too, but she was really good. In my opinion, she was really good. But my mom was like, yeah, no, yeah, it's not gonna happen. So,
Oh well.
yeah, I'm stuck with my recorder. But what all instruments do you play?
I played trumpet in two big bands, jazz bands at the college, and then I got involved with a jam session with that instrument. I play piano. My strongest is trumpet, but I get around decently on piano. And for a while, I was learning how to play the bagpipes.
Really?
Yep.
You don't see that often at all.
No, but I
Where do
just
you
had,
even find
yeah,
that?
I just I was student teaching to teach in the public schools. I'd done some Christian school teaching and then decided I need to make some money, and so I jumped into education classes and stuff like that. Went off to uh, do my student teaching, and she knew a group where I could go and take lessons for free on how to play the bagpipes. So I bought a set and noodled away for about a year. I'm doing that. You can't do everything, but
Yeah,
I wanted the experience, so I plugged away at that at the year and learned some of the tunes and could play them. So that was fun.
that's cool. Bagpipe. You do not hear that often at
Nope.
all.
But
Nowhere across.
when you do, you're fully aware.
Yes, I've seen those in
Yeah.
movies. But yeah, no, never seen it in person. That's cool. I love it. Music is very important. Do you feel like some people are just born innate with like the ability to master any kind of instrument there is, or do you feel like everyone needs to go through some type of training?
There everybody needs something. I mean, because you're not going to figure it out on your own completely. And even with my piano academy, I've seen a lot of things from teaching piano lessons for 30 years now. Um,
Mm.
I know what kids are generally going to struggle with and what they need to know. So all those things, everything in the piano academy is a scripted lesson. I like critical over every single word, so I manage. I'm making sure that everything is addressed for the kids for the things that they need. Um, there's things that you can't that I can't anticipate. There's sometimes things I can't anticipate that kids will go through. One time I saw this child. Um, she got to the end of her fingers and then she had to play a lower note, so she completely rolled her hand over so her palm was facing up, so she could get that note, and then flipped her hand back over again. Um, I just don't see that every day, so it's
Yeah,
not.
very
It's not.
interesting.
Yeah, but it was a
Was it
solution,
a
and I
fluid method? Like, was it fluid motion?
yeah,
Like,
it was really well done. And then I heard about a clarinet player. So she's like probably in usually they start fourth or fifth grade, but this child was probably pretty small. Um, and she couldn't quite, she had to do a note that was reaching her pinky down to the end of the bottom of the clarinet to grab the last key, but
hmm.
she just didn't have the fingers big enough to manage this. And so she's like squeezing the pad to cover the hole with her knees.
Oh,
And because
wow.
so the teacher that told me the story says, can you imagine her trying to do a trill and her knees are like wobbling back and forth?
Oh,
Yeah. So yeah, you can't. I can't anticipate everything, but I anticipated a lot of things, and so back to your question about training. So from all those stories, you can see some training is needed. Some kids just pick it up incredibly fast. Mozart was a genius um, at a young age, but his father got him there too.
mm. And
Um,
that's why I was wondering, have you had any Mozarts cross your path? Have you had anyone
I have one now.
really? Oh,
Yeah, he's not full on prodigy. It's taken a lot of work, but he gets it faster than a lot of kids. I've had
how
a
old is he?
he's 15 right now,
Oh, okay.
and he's like a human metronome. I've used the metronome more with him than I ever have because he's been accepting of it, and he's like he ticks along. You can feel the rhythm in him. He's ticking along like a real pro
What's a
player.
metronome? Because I don't
A
know.
metronome, it's the device that goes tick, 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 and you play along with it. So it
Hmm.
helps you dial in. Imagine you're driving down the road and your car goes a little bit this way and a little bit that way, but mostly you're able to keep it going straight. A metronome in music keeps your car going straight, keeps the music on the path like tick tick dun 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 dun, dun, dun. Everything's like not slowing down or getting faster pretty much. um, a metronome keeps you from going in the ditch like way off to one side or the other, like you're playing along for a little bit. You're playing along for a little bit and it slows down because you got hard or something, and then it speeds up again. Metronomes let you know that things are not going well and you need to get it back on the track and drive down the center of that road.
Okay.
So he's incredible like that. He's got perfect pitch, which I've never ever seen. I have good relative pitch because you could play a C on the piano or a D or something like that. And because I have this sense about, I've heard that sound before and it has certain qualities about it that I can hear. And so I can tell that that's what the note is. And if you played a note before that note, I can measure its relativeness to the first note and say, and even with more surety, I can tell you what the second note was. I've even had classes in college to be able to do this, but um, he just knows. I walked in one of his lessons, and he didn't have any pre-set up. It was just the first note that I played on the piano, and he knew what it was, and he
Nice.
learns very fast. He's working on the uh, Beethoven's Fifth Symphony, a little segment of the dun 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 dun, the first part of
Mm-hmm.
it, and it's the most accurate performance I think I've ever got out of a student. And he's not even finished yet. The recital's on December 9th, so we've got
Oh,
2 weeks
nice.
to go for a very stellar performance. I'm sure
That's
it will be.
awesome.
Yeah.
Yes.
Let me hang this
That-
person up. Okay, we're back. We'll move on
no
just a
worries. Well, that's really cool. Where can we find making music fun?
Oh, .net.
.net, making
Yeah,
music fun.net.
yeah.
Socials, you have social medias?
We do. We're on Facebook, and some things are posted to there. There's an Instagram account. Um, tried Twitter, but that didn't seem to really drive any traffic, and it was a lot of effort. So
It is, right? I know I
yeah,
tried Twitter too. It was like, oh my
or
gosh, this
X
is too
X
much.
now.
Yes, yes. I see, and I can't even keep up with that stuff.
Yeah.
Yes. What is three things that you would suggest or give as far as tips go for families that are trying to get their kids into music? Three
So,
tips.
so things that you can do. These are tips for somebody that doesn't know anything about anything. Well, you might know something about music. There are on the site on makingmusicfun.net under meet the composer in the meet and composer section. There are different composers, and for many of them, there are homeschool lessons for Johann Sebastian Bach or Beethoven. Click on them and click on that link and find those lessons and start to teach your kids about the composers. And
Mhm.
that can even start in first or second grade. Things, and it's going to help you even with reading. There's biographies on there that you can, it's 1 or 2 pages, read about the composer. There's a word search on there that usually that's of no value, but we have constructed the word searches where we don't give you what the keywords are. We say, here's the word search, and the words are in the biography. They're the keywords, the most important things about Beethoven or Bach or Brahms. Um, and if you do the reading, you'll know what those things are, like his name, where was he born, what did he do? Well, he was a composer, so look up that. What pieces did he write? Well, Ode to Joy, um, Fifth Symphony, if we're talking about Beethoven, um, and where was he born? Germany. Those things are going to be the things that they look for, and that'll strengthen their reading skills because they're going to know that some arbitrary thing is not the most important thing that they're supposed to comprehend out of what they read. So that's a reading strengthening. If you're just trying to work on reading, read about a composer and do double service. Um,
Yeah.
so there's the composers. We also started creating some popsicle theater music meet the composer videos that are 4 to 7 minutes long, and you can get in introductions right from the start, and they're little popsicle sticks um, with the composer that pops up and tells his history in 4 minutes and shows a couple of the most popular pieces that they wrote. There's one for John Williams, Beethoven, Bach, Mozart, um, Vivaldi, um, Andrew Lloyd Webber, more current. Yep, and and if you're interested in actually getting it into a hands-on experience, try the Piano Academy out. Even if you want to go crazy and go super free, um, grab a keyboard from your neighbor or a friend, bring it home, find one of our videos, download the music, or just play along with it. And if you're more intrigued, download the Making Music Fun piano primer, look at the music, practice it. Well, the music's on the screen in some of the videos that you can find on YouTube on our channel, Making Music Fun. Get that hands-on experience, and as far as practicing, nothing gets accomplished unless you make some kind of effort. I say 20 minutes a day, 5 days a week. Take a break on the weekend. Catch up if mom's got to run around and do errands all day and you just don't have a chance to on Monday or Thursday or whatever. Um, 20 minutes a day, 5 days a week. I've had there some students, most students don't keep to a perfect schedule. Two students that I've had in the past really kept to that schedule, and they did. One of them did well. One of them did tremendous and was able to play um, Solfeggetto in C minor by C.P.E. Bach, which blazes. And she went even faster than you should, and
Nice.
still sort of pulled it off. That was her last recital um, with me, but yeah, and it's a super memory. I've gotten in touch with her ever since then. She's on Instagram, and we say hey, we're back and forth once in a while.
Nice.
Yeah, yeah,
Is there anything else you would like to share? Was that
oh
three? Was
yeah.
that your three?
We can do one more thing. Getting
Okay.
into understanding what is on the written page, and if there's people that are certainly successful. I play with this band, this jam session, where I happen to be the best music reader, and I don't understand why that is. There seems to be so many people in the jazz community that grow up not reading or reading very little, and so they're sort of handicapped. So start, and everything in our piano academy says start reading from the very beginning. You can start if you have an inclination to just hire a piano teacher, do that. That's the very best way to do it. Um, or hire a piano teacher that wants to teach our music, and you'll have the videos and a second teacher at home to reinforce concepts all week long. Um, and then even before you do that, start to download the Color That Note Name worksheet for free, that focuses on treble clef, C position, and bass clef, C position. You grab 5 crayons and a pencil and go to town and learn your notes. Get confident in that, because I wrote this one post, and people have written other similar posts, and they say, well, how can we learn to play piano without looking at the keys? Well, part of that with kids is like they need a reason to look at the piano sheet music. We as teachers were like saying, don't look at your fingers, look at the music, but the music means nothing to them because they don't know the note names and they don't know the rhythms. They don't know the rest. They don't know what all those lines meaning, and they know a little bit, but it's not enough to motivate them to look. So we got to solve that problem. And then you got to know your finger numbers, because those are all marked all over the music if you're interested in getting the piano. So I play a game with kids, and I go to the kitchen, and we number their fingers. So thumb is 1, index 2, middle finger 3, ring finger 4, pinky 5. And so I'll go to the kitchen with them, and I'll tell them, how about that orange? Pick up that orange with right hand fingers 1 and 2. And you guys can play along as I'll do a couple for you. But okay, we go to the kitchen, we pick up the orange fingers 1 and 2. Okay, so they pick that up. Then go over to the salt shaker, with left hand finger 1 and 5. Pick that up. Okay.
So that would be 1 and 2. Is this 1 and 2? No.
1 and 2 is your thumb and index.
Okay. We all come. You know how some people don't recognize your thumb as a finger. Like some's like, oh, it's not a finger, it's your thumb. Okay. It is 1.
Piano it is. So I just asked you to pick up the salt shaker with fingers 1 and 5 of your right hand. I think I said right.
Okay. 1 and 5. So that would be
thumb and pinky.
Okay.
Yep. Okay, so we'll do one more. Combining both hands. Here we go. Pick up. What else is in somebody's kitchen? Pick up the loaf of bread. No, that won't be on the counter. Something that's on the counter. We'll just pick up the pepper shaker. Okay, pick up that with right hand finger 2 and left hand finger 2.
Oh, wow. Okay. 2 and
or pick
2.
up the pen if there's something that's
So that was
yeah. There you go.
that's
what making yeah, you did great. That's what making music does. That's what we focus on, is making things fun to do. So we turn learning into a game there.
I love that.
And there's tons of other games. The worksheets are really playful. The one that I loved the most was inspired by, I used to teach a family for 5 or 6 years. They were dairy farmers. There was hundreds of cows out back behind the house. And so,
I know that smell was amazing.
Actually, no, I guess they were far enough away. But she loved to have cow abduction calendars hanging on her wall. She would give one every year where the cow was being abducted by an alien spaceship overhead. It was hilarious. So I created this one worksheet where you get to save all the cows by completing the worksheet with few errors. And so there's 5 different worksheets in that pack, and you get to save the cows and have a good time and learn your note names and rhythms and all that kind of stuff.
That's awesome.
Yep, I guess that's my 3.
Yes, makingmusicfun.net. I love it. Thank you so much for what you do. Is there anything else you would like to share?
I think that's about it. I mean,
Okay.
well, there is one other if you're already in piano lessons and you want to save, we offered one other thing that's called Making Music Fun Print. It's unlimited access, unlimited savings. Two big money saving words, which we all
Right.
love.
Yes.
You can have a year of access to all of the sheet music. So if you're a piano player, there's probably 12 or 15 books on there that you can download, about 500 pieces of sheet music for $36 for an entire year
Nice.
access to all that. If you're going to out to buy all those books, you'd pay hundreds.
Yes.
And if you're motivated, you can download and print everything in one day, and you've got it all for $36 and then cancel whatever.
Right.
But we're always adding new stuff, and if you can turn your piano teacher on to using those resources in your lessons, you'll save a ton on the many books you're going to be required to buy over the years.
Yes. Well, thank you. Thank you for all that you do. That's really amazing. Thank you for making it so accessible and so cost friendly
Yep.
for families to be able to take advantage of that. It's very important. Thank you. Thank you.
Oh, I did want to say
Mhm.
one more thing, then you'll cut me off. If you're a member of HSLDA,
Mhm.
we have a special program. So you find our piano lesson thing on their site, click through, 20% discount off the already cheap piano lessons.
Nice. You're an affiliate.
Yeah. Well, no, we have an association with them. They just want to be able to offer great resources to their community. So we said we'll do that and we'll give you a discount. So you knock another 20% off what we're already rock bottom prices
Right.
already.
Yeah.
But they're getting it even better. So if you're already plugged into HSLDA, just go to town and find that page where all the discounts are, and we're on there.
Yes, makingmusicfun.net.
Yep.
Check them out. Plenty of resources for the whole family to tap into, not even just the kids. It's for everyone, all
Yep.
ages. So definitely take advantage of that. Broaden your horizons. See how versatile you can get with all of the different instruments and musical notes and everything that they have to offer. So, and also check out Andy's YouTube channel. What's the YouTube channel?
It's Making Music Fun. Yeah.
Okay, cool. Making music fun. Yes, check out the YouTube. We love YouTube. Okay, we love it for educational purposes. We definitely do. So check them out. But thank you.
Yep.
Make
Thanks for having me.
sure, of course, homeschool your kids.